Now let's look at the spread operator in JavaScript. So that's actually a new feature which is introduced in JavaScript. So if we go back to our cheat sheet and look at the operators, you see over here, there's a sign. I'm going to zoom this in a little bit so it's easier for you to look at. I'm going to zoom this in, and over here it says dot, 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 and then spread operator. So the operator is basically just the three dots. So what does it do? So going back to our example, this is a good use case for it. So let's say in our simple example, let's say this particular function takes three parameters, right? So let's keep it simple over here. So I'm going to just provide three parameters. I'm going to basically just comment out the loop. And let's say you're getting the value, 1, comma, 2, comma, 3. You're getting three values and you're merging it, right? So just to go with the flow, I'll just simply over here say 1 plus 2 plus 3. And that would achieve our goal of merging these three strings, right? So I'm going to save, refresh. You see it does the job. Now, let's say, going back to our example of, let's say if there were an n number of parameters that were provided and we didn't know how many, right? So one way was to use the arguments keyword. And one way is to use the spread operator in this case. So what the spread operator does, it's not complicated. What it simply does is, let's say a lot of values are provided to this function, right? Let's say 1 or 2 or 3 or 100, it doesn't matter. So a lot of values are provided. If you want to capture those values one at a time, you provide the names of that particular parameter. You call it 1, you call it 2, you call it 3, you call it 4, right? You keep on naming it. So let's say if you say, hey, I just want to get the first two values, but then anything after the two, I actually want to capture it in one of the values, one of the variable names, all right? So what you simply do is you provide dot, 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 and that's it. So what this does is it captures it gets all these three values, right? So it says, okay, I'm going to capture the first value in the 1 keyword. I'm going to capture the second value in the 2 keyword, and anything else from that. So comma, coding, comma, I'm just going to put in 1, comma, let's say 45, comma, whatever number, comma, let's say an object. It doesn't matter, an array. It doesn't matter what I provide, right? I keep on providing these things, and it's going to say, okay, I'm going to capture all of the rest of the values, everything inside the 3 variable, just by putting the dot, dot, dot. So dot, dot, dot means everything else just captured over here in this keyword, or sorry, this variable. Keyword is not the right terminology. So now let's say we want to see what is inside 3. So I'm going to simply do console.log, and I'm going to just 1, 2, and what is 3, right? So just printing it just to see what's happening, all right? So save. Now I'm going to refresh and uncaught 3. Why does it say? Oh, 3. Spelling mistake here. Save, refresh, and you see I is printed, love is printed, and the 3 variable is printed. And the 3 variable is basically an array of 5 values. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So everything is captured in the 3 variable. So now, going back to our example and using our knowledge of arguments and the spread operator, right? We could actually, instead of using the arguments, we know that if it's multiple values, it's going to treat it like an array. So you see it's an array over here. We can, instead of using the arguments keyword, we can simply use this particular methodology. So we can just simply call it dot, 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 val, all right? Just list that, and uncomment this, uncomment our loop, and instead of using arguments, I can simply call it val, like such. And basically, val will have all the values here, and val has a length, just the way we have seen over here. It's going to have a length of whatever, right? In our case, 5, 6, 7, 7, and it's going to loop through it and merge all the values. So let's see if this is going to work. Save, refresh, and it says 1 is not defined because I'm trying to merge this over here. Sorry, my mistake. So I'm going to change this to str. Save, refresh, and you see it is merging all the values as expected. So that's what I want to teach you. This is the spread operator. It doesn't just work in functions. It could be used throughout the entire JavaScript engine. It's just a feature of JavaScript, not limited just to functions. There's going to be more use cases where we're going to look at, but this is a very good use case. Talk to you in the next video.